Hi, good afternoon. My name is Bill Cavanaugh. I'm a store manager out here in the Central Valley, and I'm taking position here in the Rancho Cordova store these days. Partnered up with Fernando, Steve Marsh, and Wayne Brumfield up and down the valley. Jim asked me to speak this week on behalf of one of the training themes we've got coming up. And I think he asked me because he and I had a conversation recently as to how we stumbled upon this, and I spoke rather passionately about it. So I'm going to ask you to kind of hang with me and follow along. If I get talking too fast, we can always rewind it. That is to say, you can always rewind it and play it again. I understand this is a one-take thing, so any latitude you can give me would be appreciated. What I wanted to speak about was this position we found ourselves in today, and we kind of put ourselves in it. We've been battling Home Depot's, Lowe's, internet sources for the past 2 years, and as the economy got tighter, we began to believe ourselves that we had to respond to that. That is to say, people weren't going to buy from us until we got down in the dirt and became the low price leader. And unfortunately, we bought into that. And it dawned on me recently that we never used to do that. When one of my own salespeople made the comment, people only want to buy cheap today. And I was just about ready to say, you know what, I agree with you. And I stopped myself and I said, hey, salesperson B, if that were true, would we have 15 installations going on today and 17 installations going tomorrow? Do you think for a second that any one of those shoppers could not have found what we sold them somewhere else cheaper? And that salesperson agreed with me. Yes, they probably could have. But the reason they didn't, much to her credit, was because most of those customers bought from her. They bought from Margot, I'll say it. Margot was the person that they bought into. Margot's expertise, Margot's passion for what she does, Margot's representation of what S&G does for the customer. The person trusted her, they put their trust in S&G, and they bought from S&G, not because we were the lowest. So next time somebody asks you, can you guys beat Home Depot? Can you guys beat Lowe's? Or how do you compare to the box stores? It's simple. There is no comparison unless you're just looking at price. And price isn't what we do. Tell them that right to their face. Challenge them as they're challenging you, because they're only asking you this because they're concerned. They want to make the best possible buy they can. They too realize the economy is tight, and they're not looking for the cheapest. Some of them may be, but most of them aren't. I'm not, you're not. The customer that just left here 15 minutes ago, who spent about $1,500 more here than she could have spent at Lowe's, wanted it done right, and they want the assurance that we're going to be there 10, 15, 20 years from now to help them out if they have any issues. That's why they bought from us. Make no mistake, because she had every opportunity to do otherwise. So, having said that, I want to go over a few things. I want to touch on some of the things that make S&G different and special as compared to our competitors. And I'm just going to hit on a few. The most important thing, and I kid you not guys, is the people. It's the people. Like Spike Lee said, it's the shoes. It's not the shoes, it's the player in the shoes. Michael Jordan barefoot can beat any other ball player I know in a one-on-one. It's the guy that fills the shoes. That's why we want people to come into the store when they call and say, do you do free estimates? You betcha, but come into the store first. Why? Tell them. Because I want to meet you, and I want you to meet my coworkers, and I want you to see what we have to offer. You'll be blown away. If you're spending any money on flooring, Mrs. Jones, you owe it to yourself to come in and see what we have to offer. It's that simple. Say it with conviction and believe it, but believe it because we've done it for years and years and years. Guys, we've never been the low price leader, and we're still here. Okay? The other thing, we're full of specialists. Specialize in the estimators, we have specialized floor covering salespeople, we have specialists in the customer service rep business. We are a one-stop shop floor covering specialty house. We don't have to be cheaper than the rest. We offer more, so we can't be cheaper than the rest. We couldn't be as good as we are if we were the low price leader. So enough of that. The other thing is the store. You want them to see your store. Be proud of your store. It's a clean store, it's well appointed, and it's staffed with the best people you know. You're in the store. You want them to see what they're comparing the other guys to. Hit on a couple of things. Value. Value. Are you guys the lowest price? No, we're not the lowest price, but I'll tell you what, we never have to be because we've got the best values. Customer might say, what does that mean? It sounds like you're more expensive than the other guys. You know what? Sometimes and a lot of times we are, but you're not going to get what we have to offer from anybody else. That's a challenging statement to throw out, so you've got to be ready to back it up. So think about this. Think about the things that make us different from the other companies. How do we have better values? Well, we've got a price range to suit everybody. We've got entry-level product at 79 cents a foot, and we got it up to $5, $6 a foot. Whatever you want to spend, we've got it. And our buyers have bought the best products in those price points. That's very important to point out. We don't carry all the manufacturers. We carry the best values from the manufacturers. Remember value. The other thing that is huge, and I'll prelude this with just one statement, and you guys have heard this before, you know it to be true. People will buy from people they either like or they trust. So you've got to be either very likable or very knowledgeable. And I would recommend both. But let's work on those two things. For starters, expertise. Take every chance you've got to learn more about your products. Study up on the Lifetime series. Study up on the warranties that we offer on the laminates, the Eternity laminates. Be expert at what you do. If you show you know more, people put their faith in you and they're going to want to buy from you. The other thing is the selection. Nobody has the selection S&G does. We've got 6 different laminate lines. We've got 700 different carpets on the floor. We've got everything somebody could want. If it's available, we have it. Complimentary proposals. Huge. Not only do we give our bids away for free, but we honor our bids. When we go out and measure and give you a price and you give us a deposit, we stick to it. Come heck or high water, we do that job and we stay to the price that we agreed on. No surprises. And if you think the other guys do that, think again, because that's not the case. Our warranties, enormous. Don't underestimate them. You've got to be able to back them. They're real warranties, people. And what I mean by real is we honor them. Everybody offers warranties, but only one store I know that actually sticks to them. We sell a product, we stick to it. Ask your customer service rep, what's the oldest PC? What's the oldest repair you've done recently? And Craig Cabral or Steve Marsh is going to tell you, well, I had a customer call from 1993. We're still warranting that work. Nobody, if they're even around, they're not going to do that. But anyway, we'll move on. Installers, the best installers money can buy. We have the best mechanics in the business because we pay them the most, we get the most, and we retain the best. This is hugely important to the consumer because it ensures the job is done right the first time, and heaven forbid you need a repair again, we're right back there to take care of it. In-house service reps. This is another thing I'll hit on real quick. Pull your service rep like a gun. We use Steve Marsh regularly as a selling feature. Craig Cabral should be as well. Here's a fun fact for you. Less than 5% of the industry has what they call self-inspection. And self-inspection means the mills trust Craig Cabral and Steve Marsh to go out, look at it, make a decision, and order the replacement if necessary. None of your competitors do that. They have to go through the mill. That takes time, aggravation, and I'll tell you what, the mills and their service reps are not consumer advocates like our guys are. We take care of the customer first, take care of them promptly, and they're on their way. That's why people keep coming back to us. Those are just a few, guys. Those are like 7 points I pointed out. I challenge everybody to go home, sit down, get together with your workmates, and brainstorm. You could come up with probably 25 to 30 different things that S&G offers and things we do that nobody else has. Practice them, drill yourselves on them, and be ready to tell the customer all these things when they throw that little challenge out to you like, can you guys beat the Home Depot? I remember a day, guys, when we used to laugh when we heard that. Can you guys compete with the internet? iFloors was the big guy. They're gone. Can you guys compete with Home Depot every day of the week? Our installers have all the work they can handle. We don't have to compete with those guys because they can't do what we do. And you know what? If you're doing your own home, you want somebody like S&G doing it. That's about all I have. Thank you for your time, and happy hunting.